What's up, humanities? Well, have you ever thought about where your food comes from? And specifically, I'm talking about like meat. Like if you get some hamburgers, some chicken, pork chops, things like that. Well, if you're like most Americans, you probably haven't thought about it all that much. You just go to the store and get it. You know, the supermarket, you go to Myers or Walmart or the local meat market or something like that. But more and more people are starting to ask questions about like, where does that come from? How are those animals treated? Now, in America, most people do get their meat from supermarkets, as they would also probably get their produce and vegetables and all that kind of stuff too. Now, in a country of 340 million people, it's hard to produce enough meat, enough beef and chicken, and all those different varieties that we like to enjoy as Americans on small farms. Now, if you go back 100 years ago or 200 years ago, that's how most of the meat we would have consumed would have been produced, like on local family-owned farms. But as the country has become more urbanized and more people are moving into cities, and you have these massive like urban populations, and we've had to kind of transition and produce it more efficiently. And it's created a system that I think is most kind of clearly and concisely labeled as like factory farming. Now, I've heard some people say that they feel like that the way we produce meat and the way we do factory farming is 100 years from now, we're going to look back on it and regard it as like an animal holocaust. Because unfortunately, a lot of the animals in these factory farms are treated horrifically. They actually have something called ag-gag laws where you cannot go into some of these factory farms and like photograph it and take videos and things like that and then go release it to kind of expose the conditions, because it would be really bad press. Now, there are people that have gone in and done that kind of illegally and violated those laws, and videos like that will get released out to YouTube. But I think this is a very interesting moral and ethical dilemma that we face right now. And it's something that you might be totally oblivious to and unaware of. But as we're going through and kind of wrapping up the year in humanities, it was a topic that I wanted to hit. Now, it's not going to be a unit. We're not spending like weeks on it. But I do want to spend a day or two just kind of talking about factory farming, the whole process and what goes behind it, and make you think about something that I'm guessing most of you have not really spent much time considering in the past. But maybe you will before you put that next bite of hamburger in your mouth. Now, I'm not trying to get moral or judgy or preachy or anything like that on you. I definitely don't judge anybody for going to Myers and buying some hamburger or chicken. However, I do think I personally kind of, the more I've learned about this, do have some like moral and ethical concerns about the whole process of factory farming. And I've kind of made the decision I don't want to, or I don't want to contribute to that system, at least minimize my contribution to it as much as possible. Now, I'm going to talk about solutions and some other things like that probably in tomorrow's post. But today, what I just wanted to give you a quick intro video, kind of lay it out. And then I'm going to include several other videos that will go through and kind of profile it. Now, this is a very partisan and kind of controversial issue. So please don't get offended by it. It's more, I'm just trying to expose you to something and get you to think about a topic that I'm guessing most of you haven't spent that much time thinking about up to this point. So kick back, enjoy these videos, or maybe that's the wrong way of saying it, because a lot of the videos that I am attaching today are not going to be super enjoyable. But I do think it's an interesting and kind of important topic that we hit in class. Take care.